So how you get out within 5 minutes without breaking anything? I grew up in a family, very creative one. The clown, that's me. My sister is in the middle, and my cousin. My mom, she's also civil econom, but she's also very skilled with her hands. She made the costumes. She's very good with design, with the colors, textiles. And my sister, she's the same. She can draw so beautifully. The house is full of her pictures. And today, she's a landscape architect. Me, I didn't get this talent. I grew up thinking that I'm not creative. And I can bet that 90% of you here today actually thinks the same. But you know what? We are wrong. Because if you look at the dictionary, the definition doesn't mention being artistic. Because the mistake we make is we think that creativity is a synonym for being artistic. But creativity is actually being able to come up with new ideas and solutions. So you can be creative as a mathematician, as a chemist, or accountant. So we shouldn't put this obstacle in front of us. Another thing for us individuals that is a barrier to be more creative or more innovative is functional fixedness. As we grow old, we learn about objects surrounding us. We learn about their function. And we think that's the only things they should be used for. Like the chair you're sitting at. It's only to sit at. But maybe if you turn it around, actually could be used for something else as well. And if you look at innovation solutions, they have overcome functional fixedness. It's two things that matter. First one, each object or each solution has a feature distant or not so important feature, and the new use has been built on this distant, obscure feature. For example, you all have your cell phones today, right? Not so long ago, when cell phones were just come to the market, what was the main thing? The main purpose of a cell phone was to talk, right? And then what happened? Apple came. And they took a screen, a feature that was a side thing, and they placed it in the middle. The screen is the most important feature today. They shift the whole industry by focusing on the screen. So in innovation theory, when you do these things, when you decompose an object into smaller parts, and then to those smaller parts you're trying to find the new solutions or use, it's called generic technique, generic parts technique. So, going back to my toilet story. So I was standing there, and I was thinking, okay, is there anything I can use to get me out? And then it hit me. I recall one thing that I learned when I was in the 7th or 8th grade in primary school. We had physics, and then we learned about Archimedes' law of lever. I recall his sentence: give me a lever long enough and the fulcrum to place it, and I shall move the earth. And then I saw it. A toilet brush. I decompose it into a stick and a ball, and I use a stick as a lever and turn the key and get out. So easy. So, We individuals, we have one set of obstacles, barriers. As I said, creativity, we think that it's the same as being artistic, and functional fixedness. But we individuals, we make groups. And groups, they have their own obstacles. When we talk about groups, we all heard it today. Diversity. Diversity, diversity, diversity. This is what you need to have in a group. But is it so? Would you agree? Of course it is. Because if you have only sun throughout the year, you get desert. So if you place around the table a group of people and they all have the same age, same education, same cultural background, and they all cheer up for the same football club, how probable is that they will look differently at the object? I don't need a copy of me, I need someone else. I need someone different. But by placing diversity around the table, you're placing people of difference. And what they bring to this table is their unique perspectives. So you brought to the table a diverse group of people. Is this it? Have you solved the problem? Now the group is innovative? No. Because when you place them around the table, how can you be sure that those people will speak up, will share their thoughts, will say loudly what they actually think? Because they can also be quiet. And in psychology, this is called psychological safety. Psychological safety is when you feel safe when you have to speak up, when you are not afraid that you will be punished. And we talk about psychological safety. In organizations, you can have both buckets of high and low psychological safety. Because psychological safety is a property of the group. And why is that? It's because the group leader sets the tone. It's because how he or she reacts to your question, to the comment that's unusual. When you have a new idea, do they embrace it or do they reject it? And if so, if they reject it, psychological safety evaporates immediately. So, groups, they make organizations, right? And when we talk about innovation, organizations have their own challenges, and the barriers are very much context related. The more innovative as an organization you are, the more barriers you face. It's different if you're a big or small company. Big companies, they're huge. They're giants, they're like tankers. It's difficult for them to shift, right? And when we talk about changes in our organizations, what do we say? Oh, no changes. No, thank you. We don't like that. We like couch. We like comfort zone. But you know what? I don't agree. We love changes. Because all of you have latest phones in your pockets. All of you are driving latest Tesla models, right? 50% of NHH students go on exchange. We wouldn't be standing here today at this evolutionary level if we haven't been embracing changes. So it's not about the change, but it's also about how the change is implemented and what it's bringing. Has the top leadership clear vision what and how they will do? Have they been included, all important stakeholders? How the middle management is involved? because they are the guys or girls that will be executing the project, the change, innovation. Small companies, on the other hand, they're like sailing boats, small sailing boats, right? They can turn swiftly. And that is maybe the reason why the small companies, startups, are coming with radical and disruptive innovation. Well, the big ones, they have the system, the legacy, and they're perfect when it comes to sustainable and incremental innovation. Small companies, they have another challenge: funding and resources. They have a problem how to fund their innovative, radical projects. So it's extremely important to enable them. But why is this important? 99% of all companies in Norway are small, medium companies. They do employ 50% of all employees, and they create 50% of the value to the society. So it's extremely important to provide public ecosystem where they can get fundings. Or they can also get public tenders. Not only just to apply, but also to win. Because in Ireland, 75% of all tenders is won by small and medium enterprises. Norway, 40%. Another thing, when it comes to organizations in general, the closest you are as an organization to the technological frontier, the more innovative you will be. Technological frontiers are technological advancements. Blockchain, artificial intelligence, machine learning, internet, G5. The closer you are to it, the more innovative you will be. And in 2014, oil crisis came, and finally Norway started to waken up. Norway is doing much more aggressively efforts to be much more close, to bring technological frontiers to Norway. And this is a wonderful strategy. Another great thing is that Norway is one of the most digitalized countries in the world. So here are some opportunities. So to conclude, I have presented you 3 levels and their barriers. Individuals, we are creative, and there is a way how to solve functional fixedness. We individuals, we make groups. And groups not only have to be diverse, but also psychological safety has to be in place. Organizations are made of groups, and organizations have their own set of obstacles. It's different if you are big or small, and how close you are to technological frontier. So in order to implement innovation successfully, you have to take care of all those 3 levels. It's not just about implementing a new process. It's by taking care of those 3 levels. And only then you will be able to mobilize knowledge, technological skills, and experiences in order to be creative and innovative. Because we know innovation means growth, and innovation means success. So to finish my story with the door again. Some time ago, in front of our neighborhood, there was a new family of 5 with the 3 kids. And I was sitting outside with my kids, and I decided to say hi because we got new neighbors. And then the woman approaches me and she said, "Can I get a key?" And I was, "A key? What kind of key?" And then she says, "Oh, we have rented the flat here. We are waiting to get a key." "Oh, can you show me the flat?" So she brings me to the flat, and then I see the box. And I said, "You see, you have to get a code in your email, because inside is the key." And she tells me, "But I didn't get a code. I don't have it." Okay. You know what? I will go home, I will search for who is the owner, and I will find his or her phone number, and we will solve the problem. So I go home and I do all creative things in order to find the owner, and I couldn't. And I went back to them, disappointing. But then I saw them. They were moving in. And I asked, "What? How?" And she tells me, the door was open. So, no matter how difficult the challenge is, there is always a way to find a solution. Thank you.